Yes, good morning everyone. So, with respect to our last class, we have gotten to the section called as testing, okay, and we have already got to know the meaning of what do you mean by testing, else what do you mean by test-driven development, okay, else it can be we have come across with three different sections of testing, so wherein it happens to be development testing, then user testing, it is release testing, then the later one is user testing, okay. So with respect to all the three sections and how do they differ with one another, so we have come across with all these things with our prior classes and videos there, okay. So followed up with that, so let us get across with this further section, and that is regarding evolution of a software. So what do you mean by evolution of a software there? So software evolution is nothing but wherein the respective requirement has been collected, design has been done, implementation has been done, tested, and it is even sent across to the user there, okay. But after that, okay, there comes a phase where the user requests or else the user changes there is some kind of functionality change which is required by the user there. So to address that, so this particular word which acknowledges that, and that is called out as software evolution there, okay. So in this particular section, you all are coming across to know what do you mean by evolution processes, what do you mean by legacy system, and one more is what do you mean by the term called out as maintenance, that is software maintenance there, okay. So evolution process as a term, so let us come across with a definitive meaning of a evolution there. So evolution is nothing but, as I said you just now, the stage in a software system's life cycle where it is in operational use and is evolving as new requirements are proposed and implemented in the system. So when new requirements are being addressed by the user, and that has to be addressed by the respective developer, so that particular phase we call it across as evolution there, okay. So we will be taking across with those new requirements, and if at all, and keep in mind these new requirements are with a very lesser or else minor changes there, okay. So you cannot address a huge change in the requirements there, okay. If there is a huge change in the requirements, you have to address, you have to start out from the scrap there. So these are some minor changes amongst the functionalities whatever you have done out now in an application. So with that there is an little bit changes with the requirements there. So this is the very first one, that is evolution there. Then, so whenever I say evolution, so there comes a term called as servicing. So that is, in other words, we are giving a service to that particular user or else to that customer there, okay. So servicing is wherein, if I want to say a definitive meaning of this, so at this stage the software remains useful, but the only changes made are those required to keep it operational, that is bug fixes, changes to reflect the changes in the software's environment there, okay. No new functionalities are being added here in this phase called out as servicing there, okay. And the last one happens to be phase out. So phase out is the software may still be used but no further. So these are all the ages, like for example, either you can add some new requirements and make it a new version and release it back in the market. As the second one is the old functionalities itself, but keep in mind that there will be no errors or else bugs, and again releasing it in the market, and that is called out as servicing. And the third one happens to be phase out. Phase out is nothing but, so the software may be still used there but without any servicing or else without any evolution there, okay. That's a phase out as a phase. These all are with respect to your evolution as a process there, okay. So if I want to speak about the evolution process or as a spiral model of development and evolution, so it goes accordingly as with a start, that is with your initial stages, okay. It comes across with your as I said, it comes across with your specification, okay. Then you implement it, okay, you validate that one, okay. So then it will be in operational phase there, okay. So when it is in operational phase, we call it as release 1, okay. So that's a release 1 of that particular model there, okay. The same process continues one more time, and that we call it across as release 2. The same we continue one more time, and that we call it across as release 3 there, okay. So like this, whatever is happening across, so we call it in one or the other way with this term called out as evolution there, okay. So with respect to this evolution and servicing, so as I spoke just now here, so there are phases which are considered over a period of time, okay. Over a period of time, either there can be any developments with respect to the software, okay. So that is the initial, this you can call it across as a version 1 with respect to the requirements whatever were addressed. So then after that we have software evolution there. Evolution are nothing but, as I said you just now, some new requirements are been added. Okay, so at that time we call it across as, and we release it back in the market, and we call it across as version 2 there. Okay, but after that, so if at all we are doing some servicing to that particular software there, so when we service that particular software, we say it across as the software is being addressed across, and we are giving and service to the bug fixing, or as it can be the errors or anything, and we are releasing across. So that is with your version 3 or something, we can call it across. Okay, these are all different phases of evolutions which I can see. Okay, and the last one, over a period of time we can't keep maintained with that particular software there. Okay, so there has to be a retirement to that particular software, wherein it can be an low address space, or else it can be an low data space it is using, or else it can be whatever applications, whatever what do you say, with the context whatever you have used. Okay, the programming language, the language might be outdated or something. So at that time we say that the software has been retired over a period of time. Okay, this is over a period of time we address across with this issue of retirement of a software there. Okay, so followed out with that, let us come across with evolution processes in detail. Okay, what is this evolution process? As I said you just now, software evolution process mainly depends on the type of software being maintained, the development processes used, the skills and experiences of the people who are involved in that. Okay, so entirely these three happens to be your main impact players with respect to the software evolution there. Okay, then comes wherein you are having across with the proposals for change. Okay, so at that time these are the whatever proposals are given across for the change are the main drivers for your software evolution. So drivers are nothing but they are the main working force for the system evolution there. Okay, proposals are given, so based on those proposals, if at all it is impactful, then we address that. Okay, should be linked with components that are affected by the change, thus allowing the, so always keep in mind when it comes across with evolution, only the changes are being not taken across. Okay, even we look across with the cost of that particular product and what kind of impact that particular change will be estimated, or else what best things which is being provided by that particular software there. Okay, then the third one is change identification and evolution continues throughout the system lifetime there. Okay, I cannot say this is the end for that particular software evolution there, because every now and then the change is being looked across. Okay, that's one. So this in detail, that is change identification, okay, and evolution process says that you identified the change. Okay, you first give a proposal for that particular change. Proposal is nothing but these are the requirements which is being required for that particular change, whatever is addressed. Okay, after that we use across with the software evolution process there. Okay, we call this phase as a software evolution process. Then once the software evolution process is addressed, we say that whatever system is there with us, that's a new system which is there in front of us. Okay, we identify the process, change identification process, change proposals, then we say that these things are being addressed, and we call it across as a software evolution process, and whatever is there with us, that's a new system. Then next time when you are identifying any new process, at that time this new system happens to be the base foundation for your identification there. Okay, the software evolution process says accordingly. Okay, change requests are taken across. Okay, this gives you what is the impact analysis. We firstly do across with the impact analysis. If I look across, or else if I do this particular change, what new things which I'll be addressing across in my respective development there. Okay, so that is what impact, or else what best feed which I'll be getting across in the market if I use this particular change. Okay, I'll be looking across with that impact analysis there. Then after I look across with the analysis of the changes whatever are addressed, then I release a particular planning for that. Okay, when I release the planning, so what are the things which are concentrated there? One is fault repair, either it can be a platform adaptation, else system enhancement. Okay, these are the three issues. Keeping into consideration, I release a plan. Okay, after I release a plan, I change the implementation. Okay, so when I change the implementation whatever was there priorly, then immediately I will not go across with the release of that. So what I have to do, I have to check on whether all the things are addressed or no. If not, then again get back to your release planning. Okay, so once the plan has been done, we release the system after the things are been tested. Once when the system is been released, now next time whenever you are looking across for a change request, so this acts as an input to your change request at the next time. Okay, the prior version will no more be there. Okay, so this will be addressed there. Okay, so here comes across is, here I have said across with a change implementation. So can we will be having a microscopic view towards this particular change implementation here. Okay, what is this change implementation? Change that you are proposing changes there. Okay, so you propose the change, then you do requirement analysis for that, requirements updating are done, then keeping those things into mind, we develop that particular software. So whenever I look across with an analysis of that particular requirement, so I again see that if any changes are required or not. Okay, if any changes are required, then again I propose the changes. Then so whenever this change as a word, okay, so this has a very great impact. Okay, only because so we'll be making very hardly changes with the cost structure there. Okay, whatever cost you'll be looking across for a particular person, or else for that particular system. So at that time that matters a lot. Okay, with respect to your change implementation. So with the same change implementation, this is given in description here. Okay, iterations of the development process where the revisions of the systems are designed, implemented and tested continuously. Okay, so as I said you, this is your first phase. Okay, so this will be continuously being done. After the software development is done, then we will be testing it every now and then we release across with that particular product. Okay, so apart from this, so there are some cases that wherein there is an emergency with the evolution process. Emergency says that I have got across to fix an particular error. Okay, or else immediately, and one of the requests which was and required one by the respective customer, it's a most required one, so that has to be addressed immediately. So such things are being called out across as emergency repair process. Okay, for this particular emergency repair process, so what do? Is we use across with a change request there. Okay, we directly analyze the source code. We do not go in detail with the requirement analysis and all those things there. Okay, directly we analyze the source code. Any modifications whatever are required, we just look across, or else we modify that particular part of a source code, then we immediately deliver that modified system there. Okay, this is what is a process which goes across for an emergency behaviorance of the change developments there, whatever is happening. Okay, we look across with the requests for the change, we analyze the source code directly, we modify the source code, and we immediately deliver the modified system to the user there. Okay, so we are not going across here with what's the impact of the change whatever is requested, analysis of that and all those things. Okay, so after this, let us come across with this term called what as legacy systems there. Okay, what do you mean by legacy system? Legacy systems are nothing but, which I can say in a simple way, that it is something like a older systems which are already available. So what we can do is, for such kind of systems which are no longer used, so that will remain back as a no longer used only. So what we can do is, we can make use of such legacy systems, we can enhance the features of it. Okay, or else we can add some new functionalities to that, and later we can deliver it back to the respective user. Okay, so this thing can be done across with the legacy systems there. Okay, so as we are coming across with an definition here, it says legacy systems are older systems that rely on specially languages and technology. Okay, so if I ask you to buy a simple one, I'll tell you, if at all you are very much aware with new handsets whatever are available in the market. Okay, so any person will not buy such a handset which is already and priorly used one or something there. Okay, so which is already an priorly which is not there into the market or something. So that is no longer used for new systems development there. So such kind of things, or such things we call it, or as we address it as a legacy system. Okay, then for the same I call across with a for such kind of a systems I call it across with this term called as legacy software there. Okay, so they may be dependent on some older hardwares which are there. Okay, such as mainframe computers, or else it can be associated with a legacy processors and procedures. Okay, So legacy systems are not just, we will be not calling it across as just a software system, because they have built a very good based on their particular will or something, goodwill or something there. Okay, that particular product is already used in the market and many users are already using it. So I cannot say it as just a software system there. Okay, we call it across as a socio-technical system there. Okay, only because you are very much what do you say, aware with the hardware whatever is used or the software whatever is used, the libraries are supportive. Okay, the other software and business processes, everything is being supportive with respect to such kind of legacy systems there. So making reuse of such kind of legacy system is quite very useful there. Okay, so if at all I am speaking what are elements of a legacy system, so these are your elements for that legacy system there. Okay, so what are those? So I, for this any application software, I require a support software. Okay, for this support of a software, so what this application software does is it uses the support software, okay, which ultimately runs on the system hardware there, and the same application software also runs on a system hardware. Okay, application software uses the application data. Okay, so at the same time business processes uses application software there. Okay, business processes, either there can be business policies and rules, okay, that are required whenever you are drawing across with an application software there. Okay, so there are some business policies. So if at all you are working with a particular company or something, so there will be their own policies for the things whatever are addressed there. Okay, so these business policies and rules, constraints, or else they take into consideration of this business processes with them. Okay, so with these, keeping into consideration of these business processes, so we have these business policies and rules, and through that an application software is being embedded. Okay, these are your elements of a legacy system there. Okay, so for this legacy system layers, so it starts across with the hardware, okay, platform and infrastructure software, then application software, business processes, and ultimately I call this as a whole socio-technical system there. Okay, I have the hardware with me for any respective system. I have the platform and infrastructure software and application software and business processes which are included across with that particular system. That's a socio-technical system there. Okay, so the next one I'll be telling across in your next class there. Thank you.